Hey guys, Drutter here. It's February the 8th, 2017. Just looking out my back door here. It looked like spring was coming last week, but everything was all cleared up, and now we just had about a foot of snow, and it's just staying around freezing. So spring has not yet come, but I do have some my grandma's early snowdrops coming up there. I don't know if you can see a couple of sprouts coming up. They like to come up before the snow's gone. Silver price, this is in US dollars, and this is a very simplified chart going back about 3 years. I like to use simplified charts nowadays. You can look at the actual up and down moves, down to the actual second if you want. You can go tick by tick, but when you're looking at a period like 3 years, you don't really need to know all those little minute intraday moves and stuff like that. So I just grab this off of any other chart and just simplify it for myself. And I don't know, some people also like that kind of look. They don't really need to know the minutia of this. So let's talk about this briefly. You can see a bottom along here that started in December of 2015, just below $14. And it has touched that and actually pierced it there briefly, but it's basically hit that 14 spot 3 times, and it lifted off, didn't come back to it there, didn't come back to it there. We made that 21 very brief high about a year ago, and back down now to, that was 16, and we're back up to 17 or almost 18 now. In February of 2017. So it has been a sideways pattern, really. You could draw more lines along there maybe and say that there's another resistance around 18. It's only broken once in the past 2-3 years. It's coming back to that again. Maybe that's something to look at. But all in all, this has been a sideways pattern, and this is a US dollar chart, remember. The US dollar has been doing very well. It's back down to about 100 now, but it was up well over 100 for a while there, and that's high for the US dollar. It was in the 70s for a long time, then it was in the 80s a couple of years ago. It went from 80 all the way just to 100, and it's been sort of going sideways since that time. But it has, when Trump won, it did go up above 100, and that pushed everything priced in US dollars down. Those commodity charts just looking like garbage. Everywhere else in the world, they still look good. We're couple of years off the bottom in gold and silver, pretty much everywhere else, 2-3 years even in some places off the bottom in gold, like in Canada and Australia. We keep on making new highs. We're almost at the high now in gold in Canadian dollars. So this looks bad. This looks like we've come down from 50 and we're sitting at 14. Silver looks terrible, really does. That to me says it's a buying opportunity, and has been a long buying opportunity. A lot of people were not there in 2008 and 2009 when there was another buying opportunity when it went down to $10, and then it sat in the teens for a while. About a year and a half it sat in the teens, and that was when I was doing my channel, and I was saying, wow, this looks like it's going to break out and go to the upside, and people were saying, how do you see that? It's been in the teens for so long, it just looks like junk. And then it went to 50. And I think the next time that silver does have a big spike like that, it won't be going to 50, it'll be going to something higher. And it may not come back down to $14, $15, $16 again. But I've said that before, and here we are, still at 14, 15, well, $18. And that's really all I want to say about the silver price. I can't predict it. I've never been able to predict it. I was bullish while it was going up, and then I was mixed while it was falling, and now I'm bullish again while looks like to me it's been on the bottom for a few years. In a lot of other currencies, like I said, it's off the bottom, and we're about to make new highs. So I think this US dollar chart will start to turn around soon. It hit 14 again at the beginning of 2016, end of 2015, so it's been at least a year since it hit that point. And it has made 15, 16, 16, 17, 18, and $21 points since then. And I think when it breaks that 21, you're going to be looking at a test of 26 pretty quickly. And that all can happen this year, of course. 2017 could be the year that silver goes back and makes, moves up into the 30s and 40s and so on again. It can happen at any time. It happened unexpectedly last time. Right before it happened, no one was saying it's about to happen. Right now, no one's saying it's about to happen. Of course, that doesn't mean it's about to happen, but it's a hint, it's a clue. It could be about to happen. That big move could be about to happen. I know a lot of people on this channel have been waiting for a big move. And we're not talking about trading moves. We don't want to get in and out of silver to make a little bit of profit. We're talking about those moves, those once-in-a-lifetime moves, those wealth transfer moves, those if you don't have commodities or something real like food, you don't have anything kind of moves. And that hasn't happened yet. And the way the world looks right now, that could certainly happen still. At any time that can happen. That is not off the table in any way. So I am still a believer in stacking precious metals. I don't know what the price is going to do, but that's really all I wanted to say about it right now. And as for demand, I usually talk a lot about demand. Demand was, as you know, petered off at the end of last year, and it was a modest January. There was 5 or so million sold, so it wasn't anything exciting. There's not too much to talk about for demand or price. So moving right along. A quick look at the Bitcoin chart, and this is the weekly chart, so each colored bar you see is a week, so it's going back to 2013 here on the left, and that's about when I started talking about Bitcoin, right about there, that left point there, when Bitcoin was a couple of bucks, and Da Vinci was talking about it long before then, and he was actually advocating for it back then. I was definitely not advocating it for it back then. I was just watching it and interested in it and mocking it for the most part until it started to do interesting things. Of course, and now Bitcoin has gone to 1100, has gone back down to 150, and it has gone back up to 1100. So I've followed this Bitcoin chart for some time. Oh hey, you guys can see me in the reflection again when I show this Bitcoin chart because of the screen color. I followed this for a long time. I have not been an investor in Bitcoin, although I said on my video a few months ago when Bitcoin was about 700, I said it looks like Bitcoin's going to break above that 700 point and go to 1100 again. And someone said, can I give you a tip, like a tip in Bitcoins? And I said, I don't have a Bitcoin address even. So they helped me get a Bitcoin address and sent me a small portion of Bitcoins. And that portion of Bitcoins has actually gone up and is worth like 70 bucks now or something. So that's kind of cool. I have 70 bucks worth of Bitcoin that I got from someone as a tip because they liked my Bitcoin coverage. So I'll put that down below again. People have asked me many times, can I send you some free Bitcoins because you've been talking about it so long and I've enjoyed your charts and your discussions. I'll put that down there. I know Bitcoins are worth a lot more now, so obviously you can't afford to give me a lot of Bitcoins, but that's the kind of cool thing about it. I really enjoy Bitcoin and how one Bitcoin could be worth, I don't know, $10 million. It could be, it depends. It's just a currency. It's floating on a exchange, and it's in exchange with other currencies. So this has become a real currency. Its use is not necessarily widespread. It's gaining in use for sure, and it is a real legitimate currency, and it hasn't been able to be destroyed. So I think that's why it's gone from 150 to 1100 in just the past year and a half, and this trend doesn't look like it's about to stop. What will happen if this pattern repeats, this peak and then this pullback and then breaking that point and going up? What happens if that pattern repeats and this is now the bull pattern and this is where it breaks? Could this go to, let's see, this was 260 bucks and this is so roughly 4 times. Could this go to $4,500 to $5,000 in the next big move up in a few months time? Because look at how quickly this happened. Yes, it could. There's no guarantee of that, of course, and I'm just going to keep on following Bitcoin. It's interesting. The gold to silver ratio is currently 70. It has been up a little higher than this. It has been down a lot lower than this. So it is near a top. It could go higher, meaning gold could appreciate in terms of silver, or silver could depreciate in terms of gold. A little bit further, maybe to 80 or even a little bit further than that, but we are generally at a top in the gold to silver ratio, more or less, and that means we're generally at a bottom in the precious metals market. Timing is everything, of course. That's a general statement, but it is true. We are near a top in gold and silver ratio, and we're probably near a low in the precious metals markets. Oil remains cheap. It's about $52 a barrel right now, down, of course, from $120 back in 2014. And there's a quick look at the US dollar spot index, and as you can see, it's just ranging between 99.5 and 101 over the past couple of weeks. And last thing I want to mention, I will be giving away seeds, tomato seeds again this year. I did that about 5 years running, and then I missed last year because I was Grandma died and I had to move out of the house and couldn't have a garden that year and so forth. Didn't really do a channel much last year, so I didn't give away the seeds as I normally do. But I have some from the year before. I'm hopefully planting some somewhere this year for myself, but I will have the giveaway that I normally do. I'll be doing that in a few weeks, so stay tuned. Talk to you guys soon.